views expressed on this program are not necessarily those of Blue Ridge PBS, the Virginia Department of Education, or the Virginia Society for Technology and Education. Blue Ridge PBS, in partnership with the Virginia Department of Education and in collaboration with VSTE, the Virginia Society for Technology and Education, is talking to leading educators about what gets them energized and how technology is being used to inspire student engagement. This is ActiVAted Learning.
We're trying to teach where animals live.
And why is it important that girls know how to code?
Because I think it's a really important opportunity because a lot of coding is done by boys and it kind of fills in the gender gap.
When we go to college, obviously there's going to be a lot more opportunities to work with newer, better technology, and I think being integrated into that, in high school as seniors, is really cool and really useful because we're kind of getting a head start on how to work with that technology and maybe lead in the future.
What do you see these kids as they adjust to being on a gaming team? What do you notice about them?
Come out of their shell a lot. I've had several that have signed up before that barely even talk to me, let alone everyone else around them when they first come in here. And then after a couple seasons, they're talking, and a lot of them hang out more outside of eSports that they might have never done before they come in here.
Welcome to ActiVAted Learning. I'm Tom Landon. On today's episode, we'll visit Galax, Virginia, a small town best known for furniture factories and old-time music. But it's also home to the Galax High School Maroons eSports team, which began a few years ago and has distinguished itself for being able to compete against schools with much greater access to resources. As you'll see, I've got a lot to learn about competitive gaming. But first, we'll check in with students at the 2025 VSTE Conference in Virginia Beach, where kids from elementary, middle, and high schools shared their enthusiasm for a variety of technology-rich projects. Hopefully, their excitement will give you some ideas for cool projects you can duplicate in your own school. Okay, we're here with Lane. Lane, what school are you from?
Three Oaks Elementary,
And where is that?
Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Nice. Tell me what you guys are here to show us.
We're showing you a wind turbine made from a 3D printer. The blades are tilted at a 10 degrees angle, and we're hovering around a 4 volts.
And what have you learned while you were working on this project?
Never give up.
Okay, and tell me, this looks like quite a construction project here. Did you guys build all this yourselves?
No, it comes in a kit. It's a Kid Win. It's a competition thing. And this is actually ours from last year. I was in the club last year, and I'm in it this year again. And we were the electric dino nuggies, and we put weights, so it was more heavy down, so it didn't fall. And then for the STEM trifecta, we made pictures on our blades for entertainment.
That's super cool, and I noticed you've got different kinds of blades there. Did you test different kinds out? What did you learn?
The 3D printed models are the best. The ones that are on the turbine right now actually weren't the ones we used for the competition. They're actually the other team from our school's blades this year, but they're in the basket, so we just used them to see how well they worked. And then we finished third in regionals last year.
Congratulations! And what did you learn last year that you've changed as you're doing it again this year?
Maybe how the blades, how heavy the blades are, and the angle.
That's awesome. Well, good luck.
Thanks.
Okay, I'm here with Amelia and Nora. Where are you guys from?
Thalia Elementary.
Great. And tell me, what you're doing here today. What are you showing us?
We're showing you our indie bots and explaining why Girls Who Code is so important.
What's an indie bot?
Indie bots are basically robots that detect the color and they move in certain ways.
And why is it important that girls know how to code?
Because I think it's a really important opportunity because a lot of coding is done by boys and it kind of fills in the gender gap.
And what do you think you've learned from being a part of this Girls Who Code?
That it's very important for your future and it can help you with a lot of things in your future.
Great. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
We're here with Audrey and Bryn from Girls Who Code. Tell me what school you guys go to.
We go to Tallwood Elementary.
And what do you like about doing Girls Who Code?
Girls Who Code is just a fun way of closing the gender gap in coding, and it's just fun to do. You learn how to collaborate, and it's a really fun group. You do fun stuff like what we have here. We have Lego spikes, Spiros, cute bots, and we coded the stuff ourselves.
And Audrey, tell me about what's your favorite kind of project you guys have done?
My favorite, I guess, there's a lot. I would say Lego spikes because they're kind of fun to do. It's Legos plus coding, and it's really fun to do.
So tell me what we're looking at here. I see you've got animals and Legos. How do they go together?
So we built them all together in one whole day.
In one whole day?
Yeah.
Wow. And what are you trying to teach us by us looking at these?
We're trying to teach that where animals live.
And what did you learn about where animals live?
Where they live and why they live there.
That's great. So these are all little environments for the different animals, right?
Yeah.
Tell me how much time it took you guys to do all of this.
One whole time for the whole time that we had for the science lab.
Nice. Thanks so much for talking to me.
You're welcome.
All right. So we're here with Connie and Maria from Lansdowne Middle School in Virginia Beach. Tell me what you're here to talk about.
We're here to talk about technology spotlight at our school in the morning announcements. So we basically, to make the students know what's going on at our school, we do technology spotlight where we interview teachers and students about how they can what they do, how they use technology. And then we make slides, for example, these slides that we have made. And people on the announcements have spoken about them and just told the whole school and spotlight teachers for what they're actually doing and how they're doing good.
Why do you think it's important that teachers learn what other teachers are doing and how they're using technology in the school, but also why is it important that students are the ones helping to tell them?
I think this is important that we do this for the teachers because teachers should be recognized on what they do and what makes them unique and what makes their lessons and classes unique. And it's important that us as students, we share this because we should know what is making our school unique and how we can help our school to just make it a better place and more good for the students because technology, it is very big in our world and students should know how we can learn better.
And what do you think you have learned about technology by being a part of this?
I have definitely learned a lot of stuff how websites, how Waken boards, how everything works. And I've also learned skills interviewing people and public speaking and just telling everyone information that is pretty helpful.
That's so awesome. Good luck, you guys.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day. This seems like a great podcast.
Great. All right, now we're here with Liam and Noah, and they're going to tell us what they're here to talk about. Liam, tell me what you're here for.
We're here to talk about our creations with the microbit and the hummingbird kits.
And what does that involve for you? How much work was it to get this ready?
We had to first design it, and then we had to make it work by adding the motor and then programming it.
And tell me, Noah, did you know anything about programming before you started this project?
No.
No. And tell me what you think you've learned while you were working on this project.
That. What'd you say again? I'm sorry.
Just what have you learned by working on this project?
That coding is important if you're building something.
Now that you've done this, when you see other machines doing things in the world, does it make you wonder how they did it?
I wonder about everything, but mostly yes, because I like to think about how the programming works and how it can be improved.
What is the next thing you want to do with a project like this?
Probably build something bigger and more what's the word?
And tell me, what's the story behind your little man machine here?
So the story is, we were tasked to make a little drummer boy. So we cut out a cardboard little figure, and then we added the motor to make it hit the cup that is glued to a base.
Awesome. How about you? What's the next thing you want to make?
Personally, I would like to make a animated sign, maybe. Like a personalized animated sign.
Sounds awesome. Well, thank you guys for talking to me. We are here with Braden from Newsom Park Elementary in Newport News Schools. And tell me what you're here to show us, Braden.
So it's a soccer goal that can go back and forth. So if the player's trying to get the ball and try and score the ball, the goal can move back and forth so the player doesn't score.
How did you get the idea, or how did you and your friends get the idea to build this?
We just went online and built it off of instructions, and I play sports and my friends play sports, so we decided to go with the sports one.
That's great. Sports are always fun. They help you be interested in your learning. Tell me about the coding that has been done to make it do what it's supposed to do.
So it's coded to go from this side to that side. So it goes back, so it goes that way, and then it comes backwards.
Now, what would it be like to play soccer if the goal moved like that?
It'll be pretty hard.
All right. What do you want to make next?
I saw a thing on there. It was a trash can that ate the trash. I wanted to make that, but I wanted to make that one too.
Cool. Well, thanks for sharing with us.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, I'm here with 3 students from Cox High School who are going to put me out of a job because they are podcasters, and I just want to ask them a couple questions. First, tell me what your name is and tell me about this project.
Hello, my name is Sam Dixon. I'm a senior from Cox High School, and I was one of the hosts on What the Health Anatomy podcast.
You said What the Health, correct? With a TH. Okay, good. And how about you?
I'm Selena Rice, and I was another host on What the Health.
And you?
I'm Alyssa Savastianova, and I'm a senior at Cox High School, and I'm one of the hosts on Curious Kids, Brainy Teens.
So you've got multiple podcasts going. What do you guys think? What do you think you're learning as you produce podcasts? And
I would say, well, for one, we're definitely learning a lot about anatomy, but I really loved working with new technology and also new apps like WeVideo, so that was pretty cool.
And how about you? How has podcasting helped you in any way outside of just doing a podcast?
I would say the learning, the process of researching everything and trying to learn about what the topic is. It was helpful because podcasting, I can talk about it and I can research it. So the repetitive going through the motion and talking about it was amazing to learn everything.
Anything that you thought you were going to produce a podcast, but you ended up learning? Were there other skills you ended up learning as you did it?
For me, I think it was learning on how to edit and stuff like that, and how to just put in sound effects and just create a smooth kind of flowing sound for the podcast.
Cool. And Alyssa, tell me how you think this is going to help you in your future.
Oh, for sure. I mean, when we go to college, obviously there's going to be a lot more opportunities to work with newer, better technology. And I think being integrated into that, like in high school as seniors, is really cool and really useful because we're kind of getting a head start on how to work with that technology and maybe lead in the future.
Awesome. Well, don't put me out of a job, guys, but congratulations. All right, we're here with some students from Lansdowne High School in Virginia Beach, and we have Faith and Max and Alicia. Tell me what you're here to talk about, Faith.
We're here to present our PSA project, basically a public service announcement to students in our school.
And tell me about the process, Max. What did you have to do in order to complete this project?
Personally, what I did was I did a lot of the editing. I used primarily After Effects.
And how about you? What was your role in the project?
My job was kind of coordinating how we wanted the shots to be and filming it and basically directing the project.
So y'all are going to put us out of work, but tell me, was there anything you learned in this process that surprised you or made you think it was maybe a little more work than you expected at the start?
I guess my role in acting in the video, I thought I couldn't be able to do it, but I put my time toward the video. You know, we all were present every day to film this and to just make it happen. So.
And Max, things like After Effects, that's pretty high-end software. Is that something you're interested in doing going forward?
I think it would be cool. I really like using After Effects. It definitely has a high learning curve. It took me a while, a couple months to get used to it, but yeah, I like it.
Tell me, Alicia, what do you think you learned in the process of doing this project that's going to help you going forward?
I learned that I'm good at coordinating how I want shots to be for future films, and I kind of discovered my passion for film and stuff like that, video editing, and I kind of just explored my interest in that field more with this project.
Well, that's so awesome. Congratulations, guys. It was such a treat to meet all these kids and see how technology is encouraging their curiosity. If your school is doing something cool like these projects, consider bringing them to next year's conference so they can share what they've learned. Before we get to the second part of the program, here's the final project produced by the students at Lansdowne in Virginia Beach.
I wanted to follow it yesterday, but I remember you saying follow it if you want to play.
Try the Dubai chocolate at this new place. It looks so good. I've been seeing it all over my For You page.
Same. I heard Coco's Fried Chicken and Waffles sells Dubai chocolate.
Okay. You live in my dream state. When I get my fantasy, I stay in reality. You live in my dream state. Anytime I count sheep, that's the only time I make up. You exist behind my eyelids. No, I don't wanna wake up.
Brave!
Put your cell phones down, stay off Facebook and Instagram Live, and pay attention to the road. 1 second to distracted driving can cost someone their life. Get in the car.
Now, from Virginia Beach, we travel all across the state to Galax, where teacher Dalton Young and one of his students attempt to teach me about the world of eSports and statewide gaming competitions. So we are here at Galax High School in Southwest Virginia, and I am joined by Dalton Young, who is the coach of the esports team here, and by Caleb Bowers, a sophomore who is the captain of the team. Mr. Young, let's just talk, first of all, for people who don't know anything about esports, when did Galax start doing it, and kind of how does it work?
We started, I believe it was pre-COVID, I think, so around the 2019, 2020-ish era. We've been doing it. We've done multiple different games and learned what everybody likes and grown over the years, but we've been doing it for a while now.
And Caleb, when you heard that there was an esports team here, what made you decide to be a part of it?
Well, I guess it traced back when I first got Smash Bros on the 3DS from my grandma, and started playing it more. And I started really I love this game. And then many years pass by, and I see that there's an esports team for it. So I was interested. Emailed Coach Young here, like the schedules and everything. And I got myself, I fell deeper and deeper in love with this game. And that's the reason why I'm here today, competing against multiple teams around the state.
Sure. And Mr. Young, Coach Young, let's just talk about how competition works, because, Caleb talked about this game being a part of it. There are, thousands of video games to choose from. How does competition work? We talked a little bit before we started about the different games that are offered.
It's a lot of the games they offer follow kind of like a tennis format. So you do for the day, there's 3 people on the team. You do a best of each individual player does a best of 3, and then for the day, the team as a whole will do a best of 5. So if Caleb here wins his first best of 3, then it's kind of like we get a point. And so that takes us to the best of 5. Once we get 3, you win for the day. So it's I've been told it's a little bit similar to like a tennis format. The scheduling is kind of what is different from other sports. It uses sort of a skill-based matchmaking, so you don't know your schedule ahead of the season. So all of our games are based on how we did the previous week.
And all of this is run by VHSL, which is the Virginia High School League.
It's kind of like a partnership. There's a company called Play VS or Play Versus. They sort of handle all the back end, getting your team schedule, dealing with rankings, and then VHSL sort of handles the sanctioning and the making it official here in Virginia. And
I know that there are requirements VHSL for all athletes, and whether that's in forensics like debate, that's a VHSL sport, and this is also a sport for there. Are there kind of rules that either the school or VHSL comes up with, like who can participate?
That may have changed once it become a sanctioned sport. We've always followed the grade requirement has been the main one that we've always followed.
And what's that requirement here at Galax?
Here at Galax, at the high school, since it's a four class throughout the day, you have to pass 3 of your 4 to be eligible from the previous semester.
And tell me about your big moment last year. I know you guys did really well, and talk about how the season went last year.
I guess my big moment was when we won to go in person. Mm-hmm. That was that was very insane. There was we lost some, and then we won some, and then we won again, which led us to go into go in person. And it was this massive building. It was full of multiple floors, full of gaming consoles and PCs. It was a really tough season this year. Well, not this year, my bad. Sorry, last year.
Sure. And so that leads me into it. Dalton, you told me before we got started, your matches are held virtually, which is helpful if you're a school like Galax, where getting to another school is hard, and a lot of your competition isn't nearby here. So talk a little bit about how that works, and what it looks like when there's a match going on, like behind me when you've got the team and competing against another team, and also what it looks like if you happen to do very well for the year.
So during the regular season, you do 8 weeks of competition, and all of that is done virtually. That Play Versus, they sort of handle all that. They have an online platform where there's a chat where me and the other coach can talk, as long as all the other players can talk in that as well. And they do sort of like an app. There's picks and bans, so you ban different things in the game. And
sorry, I'm a picks and bans. Tell me what that is.
So they're in Super Smash Brothers. There's stages in the game, or platforms that you play on, kind of like what it looks like when you're playing. And so you can there's a list of approved stages that you use, and through that platform you do a pick and ban. So like Caleb here, if we're the home team, he would do his ban, so he'd ban one of those stages, and then it goes to the other team. They would ban a couple, and then it'd come back to us, and we'd get to pick ultimately what stage we play on.
Okay, so you're all playing on the same. If you've got a level playing field, right? A level, and do you think about strategy with that?
Yeah.
And Caleb, how about you?
There is a lot of strategy when picking stages, because my character is a zoner. Well, and what I mean by zoner is that my character needs to have enough room for the abilities the character uses. And some of those stages could put my character in disadvantage or in advantage.
So you've got to think about that. And what do you know about your competition? When you're a football coach, you've got film or whatever. You can look at what the other team's tendencies are or whatever. Do you have that ability? Or is this completely separate from that?
That's kind of up to how much the other coaches share. Some teams will live stream their games, some don't. And then you kind of can go off of a little bit like teams you've played before, like in the past. You can Play Versus is nice. You can look back and see all your previous games. You can also see all your opponents. You can actually
watch them. Can you watch them, or
you can't watch them, but you can look back and see like what stage we played on, what character was played, how the match went. That's about as much as you can see, but they keep all that data, so you can look back 5 years ago and see what a team was doing.
Sure. And so you're a coach. What's your role as a coach? I mean, pregame speeches,
I guess it's different in eSports. I always explain to people, there's only so much in a couple hours that you can do with video games. I think we usually let the players lead the way in most cases, because I mean, you can look at their game consoles at home. They have thousands of hours on this game. So, I mean, that doesn't even compare to a couple hours a day here. It's really, it's a lot of learning experiences to get to a high level in esports, I think.
Caleb, now that you're playing on a team here, has it changed the way that you play the game at home? Is it different when you're playing for yourself at home versus when you're here at school?
Yeah, this is quite very different here. So I like to come in here in the school because that gives me time to play the game and not procrastinate at home to try to practice, or if I have like homework, which doesn't allow me to like play the game at home.
Sure. And what's it like being on I think I have always thought of gaming being a fairly individual, I know you're communicating with other people on headsets and things. I've seen my own kids play games. I'm not a gamer. It's pretty clear. But what's different about being on a team here at the school?
Being here as a team, you get to communicate with others on like strategies that you probably didn't even know. Like I had last year before 2 seniors graduated, they taught me many things I did not know that I probably would have never knew if I were to play individually at home.
And how about for you? What do you see these kids as they adjust to being on a gaming team? What do you notice about them?
Come out of their shell a lot. I've had several that have signed up before that barely even talk to me, let alone everyone else around them when they first come in here. And then after a couple seasons, they're talking and they probably a lot of them hang out more outside of esports that they might have never done before they come in here.
Sure. And what skills do you think, as an adult, what skills are these kids learning that they might not even know they're learning by participating in esports?
I think the social aspect of it is a big one. I think the being able to keep track of like a schedule and be organized, because I mean we do have to keep up with that a lot and make sure we know what's going on and who we're playing, and I think that would be the two biggest ones. I think.
How about for you? What does gaming do for you besides just give you a way to pass the time?
It just tells me to like not give up at all. Like that's something that I learned while gaming, is to not give up. Like no, like even when like all hope is lost and everything, it just, if you keep on going, you're gonna reach the very end. It taught me many things that, like, I used my English class when I was writing an essay. It felt like I couldn't do anything, but I knew if I keep on going, I would make it.
That's great. Resilience. I mean, that's what sports taught me as a kid, right? It's the same, it's exactly the same lessons. And are there times like when it seems in a match that there's no way you're going to win, and then there's like a big come from behind exciting moment that happens?
Yeah, there was many times where like it felt like I was just, it was like like a very like losing moment, is like there's no hope I can do, there's like nothing I can do. But then it'll be like suddenly where like even like I wouldn't just give up just like immediately after I'm losing. I would keep on going. And sometimes if I was really determined, I would actually start winning. And then I'll actually just win the game overall.
Right. Coach Young, what does the school need if there's somebody watching this from another rural school or from another school anywhere, and they're like, oh, we should be doing that, I've heard about that. Is there, what's required in terms of like infrastructure? Is there anything that a school wouldn't normally have that they need to have?
It's pretty low requirement for Smash Brothers. Really, all you need is the Nintendo Switch, which is the game console that we play on, a copy of the game, and I mean the controllers, and that's really about it. I mean, overall, you can get the whole package to compete for under $400. I mean, you can go to Walmart and grab everything that you need to get you started.
And so the Super Smash Brothers is one game that's played. Caleb, talk about, because I know there's different games that sometimes get played in this league.
Super Smash Bros. I think I choose it over like all the other games is because all other fighting games is because Super Smash Bros. You have to have that strategy when you play. It's not button mashing or putting like other people in the combos, which separates it from like every single fighting game I've played. It just makes you use your brain more. Say like, what could I do to beat my opponent, or is there anything like annoying he's going to do that I can counter him?
Sure, and I know that there's always criticism about video games, often for people who don't know much about them, but like, video games can be violent, can have questionable moral activity or whatever. None of those games are played in this league, right?
Most of the games that we do with the VHSL, they're all very strategy-based games like that. There's League of Legends is another one they do. That one is very, very strategy-based. Like when we went to in-person and saw the teams that were competing in League of Legends, they're out there with whiteboards and binders of information on their competition, and it's games like that. It's similar, like a chess match. It's a lot of strategy-based games is kind of what they play.
When we were talking before we started recording, I asked you a little bit about that. Last year, you qualified to go to the big tournament where it's what, the top 8 teams or something go to that, and that Caleb, you mentioned that there were, like so many folks there. Galax is a tiny little school. I mean, it's not the smallest school in the state, but it's a small school. What's it feel like to be able to go into a place like Woodbridge or Virginia Beach, see these kids from big schools?
I feel honored that I want to go to like these big league schools. Like they have like so much equipment, so much technology, so much like educational opportunities. I feel like I feel honored to be over there and play for them or compete.
Yeah, and for you, in terms of being able to go and be around the other coaches, was that a professional development opportunity?
Yeah, it was. I got to speak to a lot of different people from different schools, and it's definitely, there's a lot to learn there. I mean, we've picked up on like what's the best equipment and all kinds of different strategies. You see what other people will do, and you get to see some really neat spaces where they hosted Old Dominion University last year. I mean, they have a collegiate team, so they have like a whole different level there.
And I wanted to talk about that a little bit. That's something that's happening, right? Colleges,
Yeah.
This is something you can continue to do, right?
Yeah, you can even, I mean, I've heard stories in other games that play versus offers of kids getting scholarships to go play for their collegiate teams. So it's a big thing.
Caleb, you're a sophomore. Do you have thoughts about college, and will esports play into that at all, do you think?
Yeah, I do have like, some questions about college and if esports could benefit me. So that's another reason why I'm doing esports right now, is to see if it could help me in the future for college if I were to apply to one.
Well, and I think about too, like not to stereotype kids who play video games, because I know every kind of kid plays video games, but there are a lot of kids who might not be interested in a physical outdoor, sport, that this is something they can be involved in their school, right?
Yeah, for example, baseball. I was going to play baseball, but the thing is, the kids and everything, they weren't like very nice or anything. But when I came to esports, all these people were all like calm, like very good people, and they taught me like many things.
That's great. What do you think, if a school is thinking about doing this, just to return to that again, what would you say are things maybe they should watch out for if they're thinking about starting an esports program, or things that you wish you knew when you started that might have helped?
I can't really off the top of my head think it sort of having support at all levels is great. Whenever we first started, everybody was all for it. Our superintendent loved the idea. Our school board, everybody loved the idea. So that definitely helps. I've heard stories from other coaches where they kind of butt heads and have trouble getting the equipment and getting the up and running phases out of the way. And I think where we had so much support with it, it really helped us hit the ground running and didn't have any trouble getting the equipment and getting started. I would say make sure they know what it is and how it can benefit the students, because a lot of principals and stuff might look at gaming as something we definitely don't want in schools, but it has its positives.
Sure. And what about parents? What's the role of the parent in all of this?
They, not a lot. I mean, we keep them informed. It's really once we start going to in-person, usually the parents will travel with us if we get to go to that. And so that's always a fun experience. And they get to see it firsthand then what esports really is.
And so Caleb, your folks, your family, what did they think when you first said, I'm going to be doing this gaming thing?
They thought it was like useless, like it's not gonna help me any. But then once they went to the in-person, they saw the the possibilities of what it could lead to, like scholarships or like big competitive tournaments. Like they learned so much, and then they started supporting me.
Right. Get in there and play that game, son. Maybe not that, or do they? What do they say, at home when you're gaming?
Like they say, keep going, don't give up. Even when you lose, you should it can feel like the most hardest loss. Just don't give up, no matter what.
Now, what a great lesson for anybody, and I think that's probably a good place to leave it. You guys, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me and for ActiVAted Learning. I'm Tom Landon.
ActiVAted Learning is produced by Blue Ridge PBS in partnership with the Virginia Department of Education
and in collaboration with VSTE, the Virginia Society for Technology and Education.
This podcast is hosted and produced by Tom Landon, Director of Educational Innovation, with lots of help from graphic and audio designer Jay Prater.
Additional support provided by Andy Depew in our podcast studio.
Our Vice President of Education is Dr. Rose Martin.
Special thanks to Calypso Gilstrap
at the Virginia Department of Education.
Our credits are read by students at Westside and Highland Park Elementary Schools in Roanoke, Virginia.
If you like what you hear, subscribe to ActiVAted Learning wherever you get your podcasts, or watch the Echo channel at blueridgepbs.org.